Hi, it's Dave from Airpark Living, and today one of my neighbors, Paul, I want to introduce you to Paul. He lives just down the street. He's got a brand new Rand's Outbound. We're going to get to go fly it. But one question for Paul real quick. Paul, why did you move to an Airpark?
Well, like a lot of people, grew up around airplanes, learned to fly right out of high school in the late 60s, and always had a dream to be on Airpark, have my own runway.
Yeah.
And, the physical realities and the shortness of land and all that just made it, the light bulb finally came on one day that was never going to happen, and or unlikely to happen, so we started looking for places and just popped up and came down, liked the house, and 2 days later we owned it.
Wow. And you have a nice spot. There's somebody landing out there right now. You live right up on the front row.
This was Steve Whitman's house. Of those of you who remember Steve Whitman, famous aviation guy. He has aircraft, long-time racer back in the earlier days. His O&O, which stands for Ocala and Oshkosh, is in the Smithsonian, I understand. And it's kind of humbling to think about Steve being here working in this hangar and having the house, and it's pretty cool.
Well, that is an amazing bit of history. Not only do you live on an Airpark, but you've managed to acquire Steve Whitman's old home. All right.
The first house built on the ranch.
Well, that's awesome. Well, let's get strapped in the airplane and go fly a brand new Rand's Outbound.
Here we go. Clear?
It's clear.
Yep.
And she's alive. Sounds really good. Beautiful airplane. Love the avionics package. It's very nice. Is this the got the transponder in it?
It is. It's the GTX 375.
And I got the 355 in mine.
So it's
the door latching mechanism is just beautiful in this airplane.
We'll go down here, let the oil temps come up a little bit. It is kind of cool to be able to do your run-up in your driveway.
I know. Are you kidding me? It's got a forward-looking taxi camera. Did you install that, or is it?
No, I think that's. I asked Randy about it. I accused him of doing it after he ran into the cone down at one of the sport shows, and he said, no, Tony had that in his S20, and it wasn't super expensive, so we thought we would just do that.
So they've installed instead of a backup camera, it's a forward view camera, so you can see what's underneath the nose there. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Now, guys with big radials would make fun of that, I'm sure, but.
Well, they've got the display. It looks very nice. It's very clean. We've got lots of room in here, lots of visibility. This is really nice. It's well finished.
And leeward traffic, red and white Rands at the Red Barn intersection. Will be departing, taking the active on 18, straight out leeward. Boy, this rain's got it greened up. It looks nice, doesn't it?
Yep, beautiful runway. 6,200 feet long. All right, here we go.
I just let it kind of stay neutral, and when it's ready.
Yep. Perfect.
Off she goes.
Lovely.
Got a nice active trim, big old elevator back there, big trim, so it doesn't take a whole lot. We're climbing at 90. The range for the climb is like 70 to 90. But if you get it up into a 70 mile an hour climb, coming up on 2,000 feet a minute, but you can't see.
Yeah. But you've got ADS-B, but that doesn't, this is not, everyone realizes that not all airplanes have ADS-B, so you still got to look outside to find traffic. That makes me a little more nervous today than in the past because of that.
And Randy's got some little trim buttons he puts on this. That really, you really don't have to. It's pretty neutral. The rudders are pretty neutral. I mean, you can almost fly with your feet off, and ball stays pretty centered. When I was doing my checkout, I kept expecting some, torque that I had to counteract, and I kept, the young fellow checking me out goes, hey, you're kind of overdoing it there. You don't really need to do that. I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, your airplane.
All right, I have the air controls. This thing's zipping right along.
Yep.
Well, let me do one of my favorite tests is checking the
downwind for 19.
adverse yaw of the airplanes. And what I'll do is I just take my feet off the pedals. I don't take them off, I just hold them neutral. And then you just move the control back and forth and watch the ball displacement, as well as watching the nose displacement. So it's very mild.
Yeah, the adverse yaw is not much.
No, it's not much at all. And then it immediately returns to the trim condition. Now, do the same thing, just using the rudder. See how much I've got to do to keep the nose straight ahead. And it's very well. It's coupled very nice. So he did a good job on the adverse, aileron install to control the adverse yaw. I'm going to push the mixture back in right here and pull it down. And let's see, we're at 2,000 feet. Let's do a little, slow it up a little bit. See how she flies. I'm going to turn right. And we're clear right.
Nice light controls without still have some sensitivity to it. I mean, some feel.
Yeah, a lot of the older airplanes were always built where they were balanced really nice between the control forces on pitch and ailerons. And this airplane is feeling pretty balanced. We still got some range to look at.
So I've been typically brought it back from Hayes, and I usually cruise about 2,400 RPM. You can spank it on up there and get that. It really will do the 155 as advertised if you throw enough fuel to it. But 2,400, it's burning 7.5 gallons an hour.
So there is a stall, and it's got really good rudder control. It tries to dip a wing a little bit, but just real balanced with the rudder pedals, and you can hold it. A little power, just lower the nose, and immediate recovery. So very good control with the rudder during the stall. That's always a great quality, is to have really strong rudder control.
Yeah.
And it's balanced. It didn't have any particular wing drop, so it's very neutral. So it's got very good stall characteristics. Felt just a little bit of buffeting in the tail prior to or on the wings, so it gives you a little warning.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk to you a little bit, but
yeah.
Hey, pay attention to what you're doing.
See how slow I can fly it now.
I had it out the other day and trying to get the landings down a little better than what I was doing. But I think it's with these clear doors, it's kind of got my depth perception a little bit haywire. I've been tending to round out just before the touchdown a little higher than I need to be to really, slick it in there. And so that's been a little bit of a learning curve. And I had it out with full flaps the other day and saw what it took to keep it, just maintain altitude at about 1,500 RPMs. I thought, well, I'll just do that. And well, guess what happens when you increase your angle of attack at 1,500 RPMs? You start flying again. So.
Yeah.
So on one pass, I got current with 3 landings.
gently at 2 notches of flaps.
Traffic coming on the downward for runway 1.
There's the stall right there, full up elevator, and I got total control of the ailerons, total control of the rudder. Very nice, very controllable. You have to really get it out of trim and not be paying attention to.
Go ahead and try one with full flaps. It should stall right around 40.
Okay, let's check it out.
The approach speed, according to the book, is 64 for a normal landing, and for short field, 59.
So there's 50, 49. You know, get close. I can feel a little bit. There's the buffet. There's full up. Those drops a little bit, and it's just buffeting. As soon as I release the controls, I mean, just let go of the elevator. Let's do that just one time and see how that looks. That's interesting. We're slowing down. We're getting into the stall. Got up elevator. The nose is dropping. Let go of the stick, and down she goes and recovers. So it doesn't want to stay stalled.
Yeah.
You have to make it stay stalled. So that's a really good characteristic. It has really strong rudder authority. So if you're going to be out of trim, it would cause a rotation. But stability is a lack of controllability. Controllability is, in some terms, lack of stability. This airplane has really good rudder authority like older generation airplanes, you know, not like Cessnas where they've got so much fin back there that it's like a weather vane flying around and you can't spin them or anything very, very easily. So here we are, very low power setting, 2100 RPM, and we're climbing, what, 700 foot a minute at 75 miles an hour, 600. Airplane's got lots of power with the power plant that's in here. What is the weight of this airplane?
Say that again.
What is the, in a typical configuration like we are, what's empty weight of the airplane?
Well, the gross is 1,800. Empty weights, if that's what you're asking, is about 1,060 with all the gewgaws I've got in here.
I'm just going to come back to the right, do about a 270-degree turn. A bit of a speed bank, maybe 45 degrees.
But this one's got the Continental 340, just a stroke 320, and 180 horses. Does real well.
Beautiful.
It's got part of the reason why I went with this design was for my wife and I. Bad back, bad knees, old people, you know, complaints. I sold a really nice Satamra that I'd had for 18 years, but it just got to be difficult for us to get in and out of it. And, you know, the baggage area was hard to get into. You had to, you know, turn around on your knees in the back seat, load stuff, unload stuff, change the battery. And, you know, getting to this gargantuan luggage area back here, just with these clamshell doors, you just walk up to it and set stuff in there.
Traffic, Archer 222.
Well, airplane flies really great.
And do the round down. Got a little more energy to hold
Yeah, this
there.
is beautiful here. Perfect. Perfect. Now you can get on the brakes and you could stop easily if you wanted to.
Yeah, that is a lot more. I hadn't noticed it requiring a little bit. It just ran out of speed. You know, RV8, if you don't 60, it just quit flying. It's just gone. I'm done. You know, this one's got better, but it does have its limits. You're right. That did feel a lot more comfortable.
That was beautiful.
You want to do a few?
Sure.
Okay, your airplane needs a little trim forward here.
All right.
There you go.
And the trim.
Nose down, nose up.
All right. When I saw that push to talk, it's on the front. It's pointing over the top.
Yeah, thanks for that. That does feel a lot better. I mean, you still get that speed in there, that approach speed, after you do your round out, but you just got a little more
You have a little energy for making.
It doesn't fall out so bad.
Clear traffic. Leeward traffic, red and white Rands. We're going to be turning right base for runway 18. I guess another thing is kind of not supposed to fly over the houses.
Yeah, I try to stay over here and kind of, it doesn't, if you stay totally over the railroad tracks, it doesn't give you much room to turn in there, but.
No, and at the end of the day,
hey, they built next to an airport, you know, so.
Yeah.
And ball is nicely centered. Here we go.
Oops, there it is.
You just did that to make me feel better, didn't you? Appreciate
I'm rusty.
But yeah, I'm actually, there's kind of a, like I say, there's kind of a depth perception thing. I think it's these clear windows, but I'm not positive. But I'll get there with it.
Well, that's good. Let's go back and let you enjoy your day. Turn right here and get off the runway.
Okay, you missed this guy, so you're good.
Red and white Rands is clear to active at Leeward.
Open a little air conditioning here.
Well, Paul, I certainly appreciate the opportunity to fly this beautiful airplane, share it with folks on Airpark Living. It's just an amazing airplane. You fly it very well, and thank you so much for sharing your time and opportunity for Airpark Living.
You are most welcome.
Thanks a lot.
Pleasure to show it off.
And if the folks out there, if you're enjoying what you're seeing on the videos, then go ahead and click the subscribe button.